Good evening, Dr. Hines, members of the Board of Education, faculty and staff from around the district, parents, family, friends, and of course, the class of 2020. It is my pleasure to welcome you all to the Paul D. Schreiber High School commencement exercises for the class of 2020. On only 2 pages of the 2001 bestseller Jim Collins' Good to Great are dedicated to a theory for how successful companies pivot during uncertain times. While that theory is still applicable for businesses today, it has even greater value if we apply it to our lives. The theory, named by Collins, is called the Stockdale Paradox, after Admiral Jim Stockdale, who was a prisoner of war for 8 years during Vietnam. In an interview, Stockdale shared how he endured his grueling, sometimes torturous captivity. Stockdale offered 2 basic tenets that must be applied in equal measure, even if they seem somewhat opposed, hence the paradox. They are: always confront the most brutal facts of your current reality, whatever they might be, while also never losing faith that you will prevail in the end, regardless of the difficulties. Stockdale survived by keeping one of his 2 feet firmly planted in the reality of his life as a prisoner of war, and the other in a future he believed he would get to, even if he couldn't quite see it yet. It is worth noting that neither of his feet were rooted in a past that for him was already gone. The Stockdale Paradox isn't merely a tool for wartime. Our lives all contain moments of sadness and grief and pain. Events will take place throughout each of our lives that will have monumental impacts that we would all rather avoid. Ending a relationship, losing a job, the loss of a loved one, finishing Netflix, are all realities that have their own brutality. Quite often we face those realities alone, and we know there is no going backwards. In each case, however, if we maintain a relentless belief that our lives will continue no matter how difficult, then we can begin to see a future that is bright and filled with opportunity, even if it looks different than what we once had. Friends, we are living in a brutal reality. In fact, more than one. The loss of human life around our country is staggering and most difficult to digest. The economic damage to the nation, to families, is all too real, and for so many raises questions without answers as we all struggle together with this reality. And yet, I can begin to see the future begin to form. Much like the first flowers that bloom after a difficult winter, I can see the coming spring. What Stockdale understood is that brutal realities change the future, but they do not destroy it. He knew that if we kept our feet planted in the present and the future, that something different was possible. This graduation ceremony, while not ideal, is still an opportunity for celebration and honoring students who have achieved so much. This ceremony exists because we have confronted the brutal reality of our time and proved to all that we will prevail and that you will move ahead as graduates, as college students, as members of a new workforce, or as whatever it is you determine to become. Days like today always leave me excited for the future. It is on days like today that I get to speak to a group of young people who are going to shape the future of this town, this country, this world. It is on days like today that I brim with confidence because I will forever believe in the power of the graduates of Paul D. Schreiber High School. Congratulations to the class of 2020. It is now with great pleasure that I introduce the Vice President of the Board of Education and a parent of a member of the class of 2020, Beth Weisberg.
On behalf of President Johnson and the rest of the Port Washington School Board, I congratulate the class of 2020 as you graduate today. You were born into a world trying to heal from terrorist attacks of September 11th. That, like now, was a time of great uncertainty. Our resiliency was demonstrated then, and it is being demonstrated now. As I thought about what to say to you all today, I spent a lot of time thinking about the last 4 years of Schreiber events. You got to enjoy the first production on the Schreiber stage in a brand new auditorium, the first baseball game here back on campus in many years, and the first softball game on campus, I think, ever. A television studio, a digital learning center, a rejuvenated marching band, and a competitive cheerleading team are just some of the additions I can think of during your time here. We celebrated our soccer team as they earned a spot in the state finals. Tennis had truly impressive successes. Our research students made us proud in competition after competition. You marched, you protested, you advocated, and you acted. You made Schreiber a no place for hate. From athletics to debate, Model UN, virtual enterprise, robotics, the Schreiber Theater Company, NISMA, every time you stepped onto your chosen stage, you made us proud. That pride continues as we celebrate all the next steps you are taking as you move on from Schreiber. Remember to keep asking questions and listen for the answers. It is the best way to learn. Put yourselves first, especially your health. Take care of your dreams next. If you follow them, you will end up exactly where you are meant to be. Thank someone every day. Today, those thanks should go to the teachers and staff who were part of your school career. I will take this moment to join you in saying thank you to them. No student is successful without an army of educators behind him, and you have had the best. Hug someone every day. Today, make that someone your parents. This is a tough day for us. Make the best of every day. As Stephen Colbert said, life is an improvisation. You have no idea what's going to happen next, and you're mostly just making things up as you go along. I think that statement rings true for all of us right now. But I will tell you, quoting another TV personality, Art Linkletter, things turn out best for the people who make the best out of the way things turn out. These last few months have certainly taught us that. We have all been talking about heroes a lot lately. Today I challenge you, be a hero to someone. There are so many ways you can accomplish that. I promise you, though, doing this will change your life. Work hard at it, make it your mission. When you accomplish it, get up the next day and try to do it again. In the words of Arthur Mann, father of American public education, be ashamed to die until you have won some victory for humanity. This is your superpower. I hope you see it in yourselves. In closing, your community is proud of you. Remember to come back as often as you can and share with us all the great things you are doing. We sure will miss you. Congratulations to the class of 2020.
Thank you very much, Ms. Weisberg. And now it is my great pleasure to introduce the Assistant Principal for the class of 2020. Please welcome David Miller.
There is a Talmudic saying that goes, ask not for a lighter load, but for broader shoulders. I share that with you knowing full well that all of us right now certainly deserve a lighter load. You deserve to be standing shoulder to shoulder on a sunny football field, surrounded by your parents and friends. You earned that right, and there was nothing I looked forward to more than to speak to you on a glorious, sunny day to celebrate your graduation. But that is not to be, and often in life you will find that the things you want may not always go your way. And we must find ways to persevere, to move forward, and to excel. And that is why we ask for broader shoulders. Life will throw you curves, and you must be able to adapt in the face of adversity. Carry the load that life gives us with grace and with dignity. Even though today we do not sit out on that field, we mark this day, your day, with no less pride for what you have accomplished and no less love for who you have become. These things will be with you forever. We came together as a class 4 years ago. On June 22nd, 2016, we met in the auditorium, and as assistant principals have done for decades, I wanted to set a tone for this class. I wanted you to know that I was there to support you, that I cared for you, and to let everyone know that everyone, no matter their past experiences, had the chance to succeed at Schreiber. To that end, I announced that each of you now had the whopping Schreiber GPA of 0.00. Each of you was now equal. The world would be what you made of it. And what a world you made. This class has inducted 92 students into the National Honor Society. This class has 7 National Merit semifinalists, 6 National Merit finalists, and 1 National Merit Scholarship winner. 110 students in this class have been awarded high academic achievement for making honor roll every marking period of their time at Schreiber. 2 of you have been named Regeneron Scholars. As a class, you have earned millions in scholarship money. You have raised tens of thousands of dollars for juvenile cancer research and compelled a social studies teacher to fly 15 feet through the air and crash down upon a table and another human being. This class has students entering Harvard, Yale, Columbia, Dartmouth, the University of Pennsylvania, Michigan, Air Force Academy, Cornell, UCLA, USC, the University of Chicago, Binghamton, Penn State, NYU, Clemson, and many, many more. This class has student athletes who will be playing Division I, II, and III sports at the highest of levels. Over the last few years, our teams, led by these seniors, have won county championships and Long Island championships in soccer, badminton, and tennis. Our football team has won league championships and made the Conference I playoffs for the first time in a decade. You have led our Vikings teams to numerous division and conference titles in every season as student athletes, with individual athletes competing on the state level at track and field, soccer, bowling, tennis, golf, and swimming and diving. Every single one of our varsity teams were named Scholar Athlete teams for their performance on and off the playing field. For 4 consecutive years, led by this senior class, this school has been named a No Place for Hate school by the Anti-Defamation League. After 16 years, I can say with utter conviction that this is one of the finest classes we have ever produced, and that each and every one of you and your parents should be very, very proud. The only thing that you have failed to do is to win the coveted Spirit Week Pep Rally Trophy. And that is why, despite the pandemic and risking my own personal health, I broke into Dr. Fitzgerald's office to steal it. And here it is, and I am not giving it back. Noted author Leo Buscaglia wrote once of his 5-year-old niece who he had asked the question, "What is a bridge?" Buscaglia writes, "She thought for a long time and said this: a bridge is when the ground falls out under you and you build something to connect the cracks." There is no doubt that this class has seen the ground fall out from under it. In September, we lost a cherished classmate. Pierce personified grit, resilience, and passion. He battled every day, facing seemingly insurmountable odds, to excel in his studies. He just wanted what every one of us wanted: to be a kid, to be normal. And so despite it all, he worked. He never asked for a lighter load because he had broader shoulders. And on that terrible day, one of the worst days of my entire career, we saw what a bridge truly was as you all began to connect the cracks. You came together as a family and this town as a community, together arm in arm, connecting the cracks that had eroded our very foundation with love. It was, as Pierce had said, awesome. So once again, I look out at this class, my class, and again, as assistant principals have done for decades, I need to send you off into the world. And I am reminded that once again, each and every one of you has a GPA of 0.00. This does not take away from any of the wonderful things that you have accomplished, but it is a reminder that we always have to accomplish and work to get what we want. We are constantly reimagining ourselves and growing as people. We will always find new challenges at school or at work where we will have to reestablish who we are anew and earn the respect of colleagues, professors, and coworkers. And for some of you, it is a fresh start in a new job or a new school as you move on from this place where you can write your own future, strengthened and emboldened by your experiences at Schreiber. I have come to truly love this group of seniors. You are kind and decent and caring and smart. You are honest and ethical and moral, and these are traits that will take you very far. I am going to miss you when you go, more than you know. You have become a part of my life, and in many respects, you've become my children too. Always remember, bridges are not really built by the smartest. They are built by those with broader shoulders. Know that your shoulders are broad enough. And as your generation helps to rebuild this seemingly fractured world, I have faith knowing that you will be there to build that bridge. Good luck and congratulations. I love you all.
Thank you, Mr. Miller, for those wonderful words. It is now my pleasure to present the student delivering the commencement address for the class of 2020. Please welcome Adam Salzman.
Dr. Hines, members of the Board of Education and Central Administration, Dr. Pernick, Mr. Miller, faculty, family, and friends, I am honored to speak on behalf of the Schreiber class of 2020. In the first episode of the TV show Phineas and Ferb, brothers Phineas and Ferb build a massive, Herculean-sized roller coaster that starts in their backyard and travels through the tri-state area. With every twist and every turn, the kids have a blast as the cart bolts its way into a mud bucket, a vat of fake snakes, and more. However, events out of their control result in unexpected chaos, or entropy, as Mr. Carmody, Miss Nelson, and the rest of the chem teachers would want us to say. The cart is propelled by a lever onto an airplane and eventually flung by the Eiffel Tower into space. We, the class of 2020, are like the kids riding on that roller coaster. At times, we feel frightened, riddled with uncertainty. At times, we're euphoric, living life to its fullest. And although we don't necessarily know what obstacles lie ahead, we, like Phineas, like Ferb, and like the other kids on that roller coaster, have the strength, perseverance, and persistence to overcome anything. And now, speaking to a roughly 415-person class, countless faculty, and hundreds of parents in a pre-recorded video taken at our empty high school in a cap and gown by myself, something feels a bit off. We're the class that was born into the world in the aftermath of 9/11, in which nearly 3,000 Americans lost their lives less than 30 miles from here, and hundreds more lost their lives around the country. We're the team who grew up through one of the worst financial crises this country has faced, even though we might not have recognized it at the time back in 2008. We're the community who experienced Hurricane Sandy's devastation, living without electricity for weeks, and now we are battling both the COVID-19 crisis and confronting the painful racial divisiveness plaguing our country today. However, we're also the age group who grew up in an unprecedented era of innovation. We witnessed the development and the spread of the smartphone, and with it, the powerful rise of social media. We're the generation who reformed the English language we speak today, adding words and expressions such as YOLO, yeet, no cap, oof, okay boomer, and my personal favorite, anti-oop. We're even part of the generation who managed to get Barlito's song, Times We Had, in the top 100 on Billboard. How about that? Our whole childhood has been marked by ups and downs, joy and sadness. But by far, one of the most painful and heartbreaking moments was when we found out that our beloved classmate and friend, Peter Slutsky, lost his battle with cancer earlier this school year. His selflessness, sense of humor, and his fortitude will serve as a model for us all, and he fought with courage, hope, and humor until the end. One of the last words to leave his lips was awesome, a testament to how he lived his life and how we should all live ours. This tragedy has brought our class closer together and has proved that we can respond to adversity with love, resilience, and tenacity. We brought back the Schreiber Slam for the first time in 4 years, and we worked together to raise nearly $15,000 for the Pierce Slutsky Memorial Scholarship and Medulla-Blastoma Research. We put together a remarkable fashion show in which we confidently strutted our stuff in front of classmates and brought in hundreds of dollars for the class club. Last month, we didn't even let a once-in-a-lifetime global pandemic get in the way of what would have been our decision day. Instead, we all came together, following the CDC's recommendation of social distancing, of course, as we drove up Campus Drive, beaming in our college colors and celebrating as our dedicated faculty hollered and cheered us on. On the sports field, too, we have displayed our toughness. Last year, our men's varsity soccer team made Schreiber history by winning the Nassau County Finals, the Long Island Championship, and making it to the state finals. Boys and girls tennis did not disappoint either, to say the least. Last year, boys tennis won both Nassau County and the Long Island Championship, while the girls were Nassau County champions last year, and this year won the conference, county, and Long Island while remaining undefeated. The Portets and the cheerleaders were always there to cheer us on, and they exemplified our school's and our town's spirit. And unfortunately, even though spring sports were unable to be played this year, we're confident that all teams would have gone far. We are leaders. We run a phenomenal school-produced newspaper and organize events to help clean our community. We are change makers. We are members of organizations who paint magnificent, inspirational artwork and debate global politics with strangers for 12 hours on a Saturday. We are innovators. We teach our middle schoolers how to code sophisticated programs and think of creative ways to encourage others to make good decisions. We are activists. In the aftermath of the horrific death of George Floyd, we put on our masks and marched down Main Street demanding justice, equality, and most importantly, a change to the status quo. And we are so much more. So is that it, class of 2020? Shouldn't it be our time to shine? Shouldn't we be out and about celebrating, hugging, and laughing with one another? The answer is undoubtedly yes. And to say that it is unfortunate that a once-in-a-century pandemic has forced us to social distance is clearly an understatement. But not to intentionally quote another popular movie of our childhood, the truth is that we're all in this together. Yes, I do regret that we won't have the chance to place third or fourth at this year's pep rally for the fourth straight year. I am upset that we will not have the opportunity to give each other extremely passive-aggressive looks when someone takes the spot that you were just about to take in Montfort. I do miss having my ID checked between the specific times of 7:36 a.m. and 8:07 a.m., but not any time before or after that. I am sad that we no longer have the chance to accidentally walk into a freshman or a sophomore practicing the renegade dance for a TikTok in the stairwell by the social studies office. But as long as we're being honest, I do not miss being forced to eat lunch at 10:15 in the morning for 5 straight days. Right now, we, the class of 2020, are like the kids on Phineas and Ferb's roller coaster, who was catapulted into space because of events out of their control. We are looking down at the world. We're wondering what's going to happen next, and pondering when we could return to our normal lives. Class of 2020, we have a lot of challenges to deal with. There's climate change, misinformation, increasing political polarization, election interference, growing income inequality, systemic racism, and not to mention, the most widespread epidemic in roughly a century. But if the past 4 years have taught us anything, it's that we have the heart, resolve, and diligence to overcome any obstacle, and that we can make the best out of every situation. Moreover, I think I must mention that at the end of the episode, the roller coaster cart lands safely in a tree, with one kid describing his experience on the roller coaster exclaiming, "Wow, that was awesome." I would like to thank the teachers, administrators, coaches, custodians, parents, and everyone else in between. But most importantly, thank you, the class of 2020, for sharing the most meaningful roller coaster-like high school experience that we could imagine. I wish everyone the best of luck in the future and that our next few years are #awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Adam. In fact, how about another round of applause for Adam Salzman? Now, please join me in welcoming Board of Education trustee Dave Kirpin to present the Bogart Scholarship.
Thank you so much for having me. Congratulations to the entire class of 2020. You guys are amazing. And Adam, your remarks were fantastic. Huge Phineas and Ferb fan here myself. I am here to recognize the Bogart Scholarship winner. The practice of recognizing superior scholastic achievement originates from Dr. Elbert Bogart, a physician who once lived here in Port Washington. When he passed away, he left a sum of money to the school district to lower school taxes. In the day of million-dollar school budgets, the income from this legacy would scarcely pay the cost of printing copies of the proposed school district budget, let alone reduce school taxes. The income was set aside to accumulate until an auditor from the Finance Division of the State Education Department determined that the annual interest from the estate must be used and not allowed to accumulate. An opinion was sought from the Queens County Surrogate, which gave the school board the latitude to expend the income for educational purposes. A committee of the school board was made up and determined that the income can be used to award annual scholarships to students upon graduation from Schreiber who excelled in scholastic achievement, personality, and athletic and non-athletic achievements, and where there was financial need as discretionary. Thank you so much to the committee, Deb Brooks and Rachel Gilliar, for helping me select this year's winner. We had an unbelievable, huge group of super talented students. It was, dare I say, the hardest decision the Bogart Committee has ever had to make. However, we did have to make a decision. Let me tell you about this year's winner. This year's winner has a cumulative GPA of over 5.0. It's a straight A+ student currently taking 5 AP classes who still finds time to participate in multiple extracurricular activities. To name just a few: drama, a cappella, dance, honor societies in math, social studies, English, foreign language, and quite a bit of volunteer service. The person was awarded a Hofstra Summer Science Research Program for conducting research on meteorology. And without further ado, I am delighted to award this year's Bogart Scholarship to Julia Muratori. Congratulations, Julia, and to the entire class of 2020.
Our next speaker is Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Michael Hines.
Hello to all our Port Washington families, and thank you for the honor to virtually speak to our majestic graduating class of 2020 and the privilege to speak to our school community. To our parents, grandparents, families, our teachers, our administrators, our board trustees, and everyone else who lent a hand in shaping our soon-to-be graduates' lives, thank you. Thank you for supporting and investing your time and love into their promising young lives. Today, we see before us a return on everyone's investment. After 13 years of schooling, your children will graduate and begin the next chapter of their journey. And to our seniors, we love you and have very high expectations for every single one of you. So as I reflect on this historic and challenging ending to your senior year, I see our future entrepreneurs, educators, nurses, engineers, contractors, musicians, programmers, doctors, police and military officers, performing artists, scientists, accountants, and so much more. And at this moment, I'm not going to speak about how this pandemic has infected and affected so many of us here in Port Washington and around the world. Not only this pandemic, but also watching before our very eyes a real social movement to finally and hopefully once and for all address and eradicate racism in every shape and form as it continues to exist in all facets of our society. We know that many of us will come out stronger and wiser and will be forever changed by these experiences. At this time, I want to focus on you as you move forward into the next chapter in your life. And as I reflected on my 4 years in high school over 3 decades ago, and thinking back about the uncertainty of what the world was like, and remembering what I wanted to do for the rest of my life after I graduated high school, the truth is I didn't know what I was good at, and, just as important, I didn't understand what I was passionate about. And if this sounds like you, I can totally relate. So I want to share a thought about Sir Ken Robinson, a person I very much admire. And if you like watching TED Talks, he is the most watched TED Talk of all time, over 150 million views. And he usually speaks about education or the importance of creativity. And over a decade ago, he wrote the book, The Element. And if he was here right now, he would ask you, what do you think your element is? And when do you feel most in your element? So to clarify what your element is, the element is an expression we use in everyday language. We talk about this when someone is doing something and you can tell they feel their most authentic. They feel the most relaxed and most comfortable, something they seem to be made for. And when we see people like this, we say they are in their element. A few people I can think of is Maya Angelou, Stephen Hawking, Neil deGrasse Tyson, Lady Gaga, and so many more. But I believe we all have that capacity to find the element in our lives. But unfortunately, too few people pursue this. And when you get to a certain age, such as mine, you do look around and you realize that too many people don't enjoy what the jobs that they have and what they do for a living. And as Sir Ken would say, they just get on with it. And it's something that they may happen to wander into. They may endure their lives rather than enjoy them. And some people, when they are working at a job, they live to get to Friday, and then they work to get to the weekend, and then they do it all over again. So there are some people out there who truly love what they do, and then they can't imagine doing anything else. If you ask them, should they consider working in a different field or change the direction of what they're doing, they wouldn't know what you're talking about, because they love what they do and it defines them in a way. And like many of your teachers or principals here in Port Washington, they are in their element for sure. Now, finding your element is finding your natural self. You are doing something that you have a natural feel for. And we see people who have aptitudes of all different kinds, but it's not enough to just be good at something, because we all know people who do really good things, but they don't really care for it. So to be in your element, you have to love it. And if you love something that you are good at, then as they say, you never work a day again. And one of the things you can find if you are in your element is to see if your energy is different. And it seems to me, in the end, life is really about energy. It's about things that take energy away from you or give it to you. And the truth is, when you are doing something that resonates with you, time totally changes. In his book, he states, if you are doing something you love, an hour can feel like 5 minutes. If you are doing something that you don't care for, well, 5 minutes can feel like an hour, because your energy shifts. Everyone here in Port Washington wants to see your natural talent meet your personal passion. One of the best days in your life will be when you feel most like yourself and are inspired to achieve at your highest level. Port Washington has hopefully provided this foundation for you to flourish. And actually, I know it has. This next chapter you are moving into is part of a very long journey that I know that you are prepared for. Godspeed, we love you, and congratulations on all of your achievements, successes, and for being a positive force in this world. Be true to yourself. Remember our Oscar Wilde's famous maxim, be yourself. Everyone else is already taken. Thank you.
Dr. Hines, before I present to you the class of 2020, I want to take this opportunity to present a very special diploma. Earlier this year, the class of 2020 and the Schreiber High School community lost one of its own after a brave battle with cancer. Pierce Slutsky embodied what it means to be a Schreiber High School student: optimistic, enthusiastic, funny, and kind. Pierce will be remembered as part of this graduating class, and his name spoken aloud each and every year at our senior awards night with the scholarship created in his name. I encourage you all to hold him in your hearts and minds as a model of what awesome looks like. it is my pleasure to award the first diploma for the class of 2020 to Pierce Slutsky. Now, Dr. Hines, I would like to present to you the class of 2020. I want to encourage all of you watching at home to please stay till the end for the final convocation as graduates. Dr. Hines?
Thank you, Dr. Pernick. I accept the class of 2020.
Sylvia Arias, Alexa Albanese, John Alexander, Jamie Ambos, Christopher Amoruso, Joshua Ann, George Andreadis, Emily Appel, Caroline Arevalo, Isabella Argiros, Nicole Arias, Yarlin Arias, Alberto Arroyo, Ariana Acelta, Adrian Astudillo, Andrew Athanasian, Maxine Osfresser, Fahad Azam, Nathaniel Bay, Luca Barbosa, Katie Barrera, Wendy Barrera, Douglas Barrera Yanes, Michael Barry, Sophia Bechtold, Michael Beal, Nicholas Benzinger, Jacob Bernstein, Rachel Bernstein, Anthony Berazueta, Melissa Bilge, Harrison Black, Sebastian Blass,
Thank you to all that supported me and helped me throughout high school, and we're off to college. See ya!
Sawyer Bleifeld, Claire Blumberg, Aestis Borchi, Jake Boyko, Luca Bombardier, Davina Bonilla, Caleb Bosgang, Christopher Bradberry, Richard Brand, Sarah Braunschweiger, Ian Brasowski, Holly Brickell, Julia Brickell, Maria Bellaro, Courtney Burke, Lilia Burns, Abigail Caballero, Javiera Caceres, Allan Calderon Granillo, Angela Calderone, Anthony Calderone, Arturo Campos, Julia Carlton, Alexia Carucci, Alexandra Carvajal, Brandon Caslow, Abigail Castillo, Nick Castillo, Julie Cavallaro, Priya Chainani, Cheryl Chang, Rebecca Charno, Nicholas Chase, Ashley Cho, Nicholas Choi, Eleni Cristo, Ihua Chu, Juliette Cifarelli, William Class, Nathaniel Clateman, Gabriel Cohen, Lindsay Collins, Madeline Comtello, Julie Conde, Lily Conway, Dominic Kotsonas, Shae Crowley, Jasmine Cumbe, Caleb Curtis, David Citron, Ryan Zarkowski, Morgan Darnell, Charles Dash, Anna DeMarchi, Ashley DePena, Jillian De Reyna, Natalie Demi, Kenya Demera, Hannah Devlin, Michael DiNapoli, Ricardo Diaz Condo, Jacob Didrikson, Leah Dubert, Jerniah Dumpson.
I just want to thank my teachers, my mom, my family, all my friends for supporting me and believing in me.
Emily Edwards, Gabriel Edlitz, Peter Epp, Eric Epstein, Burfin Urbe, Alberto Escandon, Casey Fanas, Denise Faria, Sam Farrell, Ava Fasciano, Lindsay Feinstein, Charles Feldman, Jacqueline Fernandez, Yesenia Ferrer Hidalgo, Julia Ficalora, Jovan Figueroa, Jordana Flisser, Jose Flores Gonzalez, Charlotte Foreman, Jenna Franklin, Jack Fridman, Harrison Freed, Michael Friedland, Jacob Friedler, Rachel Fromm, Madeline Gallagher, Benjamin Gallucci, Juqing Gao, Meiling Garcia, Luis Garzona Hernandez, Samwise Gata, Mia Gelb, Gabriel Germain, Samuel Gill, James Gilligan, Monica Gilligan, Carrie Gilmore, Zachary Gitlin, Allie Glassman, Micah Golan, Hannah Goldberg, Gianna Golden, Max Goldman, Samantha Goldman, Amy Gonzalez, Rachel Green, Leah Grieco, Jalen Griffin, Carly Gulkis, Tiffany Guo, Matthew Gerlitz, Josie Harris, Daniel Hart, Nicholas Haddam, Dana Hausspiegel, Nathan Hausspiegel, Benjamin Hegarty, Robert Henn, Michael Hellerman, Benjamin Hellman, Jennifer Hernandez, Sarah Hirsch, Justin Hill, Kayla Hill, Madeline Hiller, Amanda Hillman, Taiki Hiruka, Sally Hirschwerk, Alma Hoey, Harrison Hoffman, Ying Huang, Rebecca Hyde, Jon Iqbal, Ian Jackson, Lucy Jarrick, Amanda Jester, Benjamin Johnson, Derek Corcara, Nolan Joyce, James Jung, Stephanie Capsalis, James Karagianis, Jacob Katz, Tori Kaufman, Rukiya Kawaguchi, Jasmine Kapoor, Victoria Kafalas, Catherine Kaiserman, Mikail Khan, Mudassar Khan, Shawn Kim, Stacy Kim, Jasper Kimball, Ania King, Justin Kingsley, Erika Kitsantas, Mitchell Klee, Alexis Nepper, Caitlin Knight, Russell Colin, Haley Korn, Jordan Cranen, Samantha Krajewski, Angeline Call, Clara Lacorte, Connor Lamb, Grace LaRosa, Danielle Loria, Ross Lauterbach, Ava Lavin, Jack Lawrence, Elena Lebanon, Jae-yoon Lee, Catherine Lee, Zoe Lefkowitz, Clark Lerner, Volkan Levent, Jamie Levin, Emily Levine, Chloe Librandi, Jesse Lieblein, Lauren Lim, Jose Lima Sagastume, Charles Lindberg, Brian Lippin, Julia Liu, Derek Livingston, Grace Livio, Adamari Lopez Martinez, Denise Lozado, Carla Luna, Dylan Lyman, Chiara Madison, Eden Manes, Natalia Martin, Ali Martinez, Crisia Martinez Flores, Maria Martinez Garcia, Zachary Marks, Abigail Masri, Brandon Mayers, Catherine Mazet, Daniela McDonald, Julia McVeigh, Robert Meade, Rudy Mejia, Sean Meth, Ethan Mitchell, Laura Modi, Lara Mullen, Jordan Monaco, Valerie Monshane, Ethan Montaigne, Christian Montes, Henry Morales Lopez, Maria Moschus, Rami Morsi, Michael Muff, Julia Moratore, Aiden Murphy, Lena Mirianthopoulos, Aaliyah Nachimson, Eliza Nachimson, Kevin Nadolny, Sitara Nagrani, Michael Napoli, Dimitra Neoklios, Andres Nicasio, David Nodato, Christopher O'Donnell, Ji-Yun Oh, Gabriel Olivares, Ashley O'Neill,
Hi, I'm Ashley, and I'll be attending the University of Pennsylvania. Thank you to all the friends, family members, and teachers for supporting me throughout the years, and thanks to the entire Port community for making this event so special.
Julia Oppenheim, Edgar Oriana, Andrew Orego, Valerie Ortiz, Harrison Owens,
Going to Syracuse and studying broadcast journalism and sports management.
Mark Payix, Elizabeth Palmer, Carolyn Pangborn, Krissa Papoutsis, Serafina Paratori, Yumin Park, John Paul Pearson.
I want to thank my friends and family and all my teachers for getting me where I am today.
Jairo Pena, Ella Penson, Jose Pereira, Justin Perez, Sequoia Perez, Jeffrey Pesantes.
I want to say thank you to my family, my mother, all my support, my teachers, my friends, all that, you feel me? Because without them, nothing.
Mikail Pesantes. Michelle Petrov. Shelley Phillipson. Mary Piaquadio. Kevin Picoida. Luis Platero Navarrete. Brian Pohoretsky. Berly Pukir. Lila Racy. Kayla Racic. Angelo Ragione. Joshua Ramirez. Johnny Ray. Jeannie Wren. Alessandro Reyes. Maria Reyes Palma. Madison Reynolds. Christian Riano Prada. Carlos Robles Vega. Jason Rodas. Alexis Rodriguez. Sabine Rosaya. Ella Rosen. Elijah Ross. Jared Rothberg. Dylan Rothbort. John Salerno. Adam Salzman. Jack Sembersky. Rebecca Sanders. Jason Sandoval. Warren Sanger. Jackson Sattinger. Jason Saunders. Noah Schachter. Allison Schaefer. Samuel Schaub. Jack Schindler. Matthew Schmitz. Jason Schneider. Mason Schoemaker. Nikki Scott. Chelsea Segura. Julia Samiloff. Minkyo So. Sean Serenice. Kate Shanahan, Caitlin Schaub, Mansi Schroff, Michael Shu, Angelica Cienko, Lila Silverstein, Rachel Silverstein, Kabira Singh, Hannah Siskin, Benjamin Siskind, Pierce Slutsky, Shawnee Smilovich, Lindsay Smith, Noah Solinger, Tiffany Stanley, Alexander Stapleton, Nicole Stern, Stuart Stevens, Carolyn Stoller, Tyler Strime, Peter Sullivan, Jacqueline Sung, Jonathan Sutlovich Gutierrez, Kelsey Tsai, Sarah Tartell, Zoe Tashlik, Samantha Tashkale, William Taddy, Justin Tawil, Madison Tejada, Harry Thompson, Toby Tick,
Woo!
Isabella Tomaselli, Yennefer Trejo Correas, Paula Troncoso, Allison Turner, Sydney Vancott, Shani Vanterpool, Henry Vasquez, Margaret Vesey, Wilson Velasco, Florina Vilovitz, Nicholas Verdino, Kelsey Vickers, Aiden Walsh, Declan Walsh, Abigail Weinstein, Danielle Weinstein, Derek Weisbird, Dominic Weiss, Ava Weschler, Jacqueline Whiteley, Catherine Winter, Brian Winters, Allison Wong, Kyle Wong, Chloe Workman, Misora Yamaguchi, Dimitri Zarakto, Lara Zion, Luke Zahori,
Class of 2020, please rise. Please take your tassels, move them from right to left, and by the power invested in me in the state of New York, congratulations, graduates. Throw those caps up in the air.